is your gender? It's a little bit complicated.
If you say something like, oh, non-binary is not real, then you have to be open to the idea that soccer, which you really appreciate, also isn't real.
Hello everyone, today I have some TikToks and an Instagram reel for you, and we're all gonna react to it, so buckle up, it's gonna be a ride.
The reason people defend the gender binary so ferociously, attempt to ban books about gender literacy, disappear gender nonconforming people from public life is because they don't want to confront their lovelessness. That awareness that they've never been allowed to be free. It's easier to romanticize the unfreedom, decorate and accessorize it, mistake dissociation as an identity and a virtue, wear it like a badge or a family heirloom. So many would rather die than give it up. And all this pain, it shows up as resentment and retribution against gender nonconforming people. How dare you make freedom real? How dare you make heaven on earth? I thought we had to wait for joy. I thought that wasn't possible.
I mean, this is nonsense. The only thing I have to say to that is, why do non-binary people think you can't be free as a man or a woman? There's a million ways you can be a man or a woman, but there are not a million genders. Okay, a little side note. People who are just regular men and women, they don't think about gender as much as you do, Alok, so yeah. Just a reminder.
What is your gender? It's a little bit complicated. Try to explain. My gender both is and isn't. Is and isn't what? Yes. I feel all of them and none of them. So, like, gender fluid. Because that would mean it fluctuates. I feel all of them and none of them simultaneously at the same time.
That sounds like symptoms of multiple personality disorder.
So it's like something like bigender, but more? 100%. But more specifically, it's called pangender. I feel an infinite amount of genders, including agender, at the same time, both known and unknown. Oh my god, what does that even feel like? Too much. So are you a man? Yes and no. A woman? Yes and no. Non-binary, genderqueer, that kind of stuff? Yes and no. It both exists and doesn't exist simultaneously until someone opens the box, I guess. Let's keep talking about it. Let's open the box. We are not touching the box.
Dude, it sounds like you're dealing with some issues. I love how she's acting like she doesn't want to be bothered and she doesn't want to get asked about her gender, but all of these labels is all about wanting to receive attention. When people say, I don't feel like a man or a woman, that's not a concept that makes sense, because feeling like a man, it's only biological men who can feel that way. And feeling like a woman, only biological women can feel that way. And yes, that includes me and my situation. I cannot feel like someone who produces sperm, right? I can't feel like someone who has the opposite set of chromosomes. What these people actually mean is that they don't feel that masculine or that feminine or something in between. And yes, that is possible. The way that you express yourself in your gender, the way that you want to be you as an individual, that's fluid. But you can't change your biological sex or your gender. Male and female, men and women, it's not a scale, it's not a spectrum, and it's not fluid.
Non-binary isn't a real thing. Okay, so I took a look at your page. I see that you like soccer. What if I came up to you and said, soccer, not a real thing? It's just a whole bunch of rules kind of invented. Someone came up with it. It's not actually real. You'd be like, wait, what? What are you talking about? You'd say something like, of course soccer is real. Look, it's right there. It's people playing. Everyone understands it. Well, it's the same thing with non-binary. Just because it's a series of events that somebody clumped together and gave it a label doesn't mean it's not real. In fact, most events, identities, and situations on planet Earth have words that are made up.
That's not how it works. You can't compare soccer to gender. I hear when people ask me, you don't think that non-binary people are real? Of course they're real. And they're not invisible, they are very loud. But if a man is feminine or his way of expressing himself varies and is fluid, it doesn't mean that his gender is fluid.
If you say something like, oh, non-binary is not real, then you have to be open to the idea that soccer, which you really appreciate, also isn't real. It's just a random event of different people that all have a general understanding of what they're supposed to be doing and how they feel when they're supposed to be doing it.
That's funny you say that, because non-binary people can't even agree on what non-binary is. Or all these other made-up genders, fluid genders, whatever, they can't even have one definition.
Now, is soccer the same thing as non-binary? No, they're completely different. One's a sport, one's a gender identity. But my point is, just because something doesn't really have a physical substance doesn't mean it is not real. Hope this helps.
I can't. I can't. Why are they so loud? Okay, the last TikTok I have for you is very funny, and I've watched it so many times, it is equally as funny every time I watch it, so let's do it.
Black History Month or Women's Rights?
Black History Month.
What about, you don't like your rights? You don't like to have your freedom of speech?
Well, I'm not a woman, so
What are you?
a dude.
Really? Okay, my bad. I'm sorry about that. Okay.
I love everything about this video, I don't know why. They are so delusional. When I was pre-T, pre-everything, I was very affected by trans activism, and I used to say stuff like that. I remember someone said to me, oh, you're just a girl, and I said, no, I'm not a girl. Yes, I have a vagina and I have boobs, but that doesn't mean I'm a girl. It is so embarrassing to look back on, but when you're not feeling well, when you don't have a lot of life experience and you're very young, that's how you're thinking. I'm not saying that this is a trans guy in the same situation as me back then, but no matter what, it sounds very delusional. Thank you all for watching. I really hope you liked this video. Leave a comment down below. Remember to hit subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace out.